We're all passengers on this beautiful blue planet, Earth, our one and only home. Look at it from space, just one planet shared by all of us. No borders, no boundaries. Mountains flow into rivers, forests into deserts, everything naturally connected. Nature never divided us, yet we humans drew lines on maps and fractured this beauty. But do we really need these divisions? Imagine a world without barriers. A world where people work together, share resources, and embrace one another. Can't we reimagine Earth as a place of unity and harmony, just like nature intended? Borders weren't always here. In ancient times, people migrated freely in search of food, shelter, and community. But as civilizations grew, so did the need for control over land, resources, and people. Borders became tools for defining power and ownership. Over time, they evolved into rigid lines, dividing nations, cultures, and even families. Today, these lines are reinforced with walls, fences, and armed guards. But at what cost? How much have we sacrificed in the name of borders? Borders are an illusion, a construct of our minds. We've built fences, walls, and checkpoints to divide ourselves, creating us and them. These divisions have led to conflicts, wars, and suffering. Millions of refugees flee their homes, trapped by the same lines meant to protect. Even the Berlin Wall, a symbol of separation, had to fall. Isn't it time we question these divisions and the pain they bring? Close your eyes and imagine for a moment a world without borders. No passports, no visas, no walls separating us. People move freely, not as strangers but as global citizens, connected by a shared purpose. Imagine resources flowing effortlessly to where they're needed most, lifting communities out of poverty and helping them thrive. Education and healthcare aren't tied to where you were born, they're available to everyone, everywhere. Talent and potential know no boundaries, and opportunities are shared globally. Nations don't compete to dominate, they collaborate to solve the greatest challenges of our time. Instead of spending billions on weapons and border security, we invest in innovation, sustainability, and global well-being. Clean energy lights every home. Diseases are no longer a threat. The environment is protected, nurtured by collective action. Picture a world where diversity is celebrated, not feared. Imagine walking down a street filled with people from every culture, sharing ideas, art, and laughter. Borders don't define us, our humanity does. Now, think about the ripple effect. A child in one corner of the world, given access to education, grows up to cure a disease. A community, once divided by boundaries, comes together to rebuild after a disaster. When we remove barriers, we don't just change individual lives, we transform the entire human experience. The potential of a united humanity is limitless. It may sound like a dream, but every great change begins with a dream. Every breakthrough, every revolution, every act of progress starts with someone daring to imagine a better world. The question is, are we ready to make this dream our reality? But this vision is not without its challenges. Change is never easy, and not everyone is ready to embrace it. Leaders cling to power, arguing over resources and control. Societies debate, paralyzed by fear. Fear of losing identity, fear of sharing privilege, fear of the unknown. Yet, as we remain divided, the consequences are undeniable. Our planet suffers. Poverty persists, leaving millions without basic needs. Environmental destruction accelerates, threatening our future. Inequality widens, creating deeper divisions among people. Every day, we are reminded of the price of separation, a price paid in human lives, in lost opportunities, and in the silent suffering of our Earth. The path to unity will not be simple. It will demand courage to confront these fears and reshape old systems. It will require trust, empathy, and a willingness to see beyond borders and divisions. But this path is not just necessary, it is essential for our survival, for our planet, for a future where we all thrive together.
Let's be realistic. removing borders wouldn't be easy. It's not just about erasing lines on a map. It's about transforming the way we think, the way we live, and the way we relate to one another. It requires trust between nations, cooperation among cultures, and a willingness to change deeply ingrained systems that have shaped our world for centuries. Yes, there would be challenges. Political leaders might resist, clinging to power and control. Cultural differences might create misunderstandings, and economic systems would need to adjust to a more unified approach. These are not small obstacles. They are real, and they demand effort, patience, and determination. But think about this. Every major step forward in human history faced resistance. Abolishing slavery was not easy. It took centuries of struggle, sacrifice, and perseverance. Women's rights didn't appear overnight. Brave individuals fought against deeply rooted biases to claim equality. Ending apartheid in South Africa seemed impossible at one point, but people stood up, united, and dismantled an oppressive system. What these moments in history show us is this. The greatest changes often start as dreams that seem far out of reach. They are met with skepticism, opposition, and fear. Yet, step by step, those dreams become movements, and those movements reshape the world. Now, imagine this dream, a world without borders. A world where people, resources, and ideas flow freely, not restricted by arbitrary lines. A world where we don't see nations, but humanity, a single global community working together for the greater good. It might seem like a fantasy today, but isn't that what they said about freeing enslaved people? About giving women the right to vote? About ending segregation? Every one of those changes began with someone daring to dream of something better. The truth is, our greatest obstacles are not external, they are internal. Fear of change, fear of losing control, fear of the unknown. But if history has taught us anything, it's this. Change is inevitable, and progress is unstoppable when people believe in a better future. A world without borders might seem impossible now, but so did every great revolution before it. It's not about erasing identity, it's about finding strength in unity. The question is, are we willing to dream big enough to take that first step? Imagine waking up in a world where your nationality doesn't define your worth, where there's no such thing as an illegal human being. A world where unity is our greatest strength and diversity is our greatest asset. This isn't just a fantasy, it's a choice we can make. A world without borders starts with us today. Let's choose unity, for ourselves and for future generations. Because together, there's nothing humanity can't achieve. It's a choice we can make, step by step, together. Borders are man-made, but unity is natural. The question is, are we brave enough to imagine this world and work towards it? Let's start today, because the future of humanity depends on it.